The girl in the alley. The rain fell hard on the dark streets of New Boston City. Neon lights flickered on broken buildings. Garbage floated in puddles. The city was cold, dirty, and full of secrets. People passed by each other without looking. No one cared. No one helped. Jack Carter walked alone through the narrow alleys. He wore a long black coat and carried a small tech bag. He wasn't rich, but he was smart. He fixed machines for people who had no one else to call. He liked being alone. Life was easier that way. But tonight was different. As Jack walked past a pile of broken crates near an old wall, he stopped. Something had moved. At first, he thought it was just a rat. But then he heard its soft breathing. Careful now, he stepped closer. There, between the crates, lay a girl. She was curled up, shaking. Her clothes were torn, her skin pale. She looked no older than 19. Jack knelt beside her. Her eyes were closed, but her lips moved. Help, ... She whispered. Jack looked around. No one was there. He knew what most people would do, walk away, but something in her face stopped him. She didn't look like a drug user. She didn't even look dirty, just lost and afraid. He touched her arm. She flinched, but didn't wake. He pulled a small scanner from his bag. He waved it over her. No ID, no name, no digital signature. Strange, he muttered. Even the homeless had chips in this city. Suddenly, her eyes opened. Bright blue, almost glowing. She stared at him with panic. Please, don't scan me again, she said quickly. They can track it. Jack raised an eyebrow. Who's they? But she didn't answer. Her eyes rolled back and she fainted again. Jack hesitated. Hid rules never get involved. But something about her wasn't normal. And not just the glowing eyes. He looked up at the sky. Drones passed far above, scanning for signals. Damn it, he muttered, lifting the girl in his arms. She was lighter than she looked. Jack's apartment was small but clean. He lived on the edge of the city, away from the noise and cameras. He placed the girl gently on his couch and covered her with a blanket. He checked her vitals again with a different scanner. Still, no data. But her heart rate was strange, faster than normal, but steady. And her skin temperature was cold. Too cold. Suddenly, she spoke again. Her eyes were still closed. They'll find me. And kill you too. ... If you help me. Jack sat back, surprised. Who's coming? He asked. Tell me what's going on. But she didn't reply. She had passed out again. Jack sat in silence, watching her. Who was she? Why was she hiding from scanners? And why did her voice sound like someone who had seen too much? A few hours passed. The girl finally opened her eyes slowly. She looked around, confused but calm. You're safe here, Jack said. For now, she stared at him. You didn't leave me in the alley. Jack shook his head. Didn't seem right. You needed help. She sat up slowly. Her hands shook. You shouldn't have helped me. Why? Because they'll come. They always come. Jack leaned forward. Who are they? The girl looked away. I don't know what they call themselves. Scientists, maybe, or soldiers. I escaped from a place, a lab. They did things to me. Jack felt a chill in his felicity. My only lipstick, Ruby Kiss. Ruby Kiss, Ruby Kiss, only Ruby Kiss. Only Ruby Kiss has the luxurious texture. My only kiss has the Aloist kissed. My only kiss and lies kissed. No me kiss, my kissed. Nay kicks, kilt, my only kiss. My kiss, my me. My kiss, my nay, deceive. My me kiss, my, pied unlat, by my side, by see we may. It's selled by Kamel lays its ek it hem y my sessic hikai weak sitic, spine. What kind of things? She showed him her arm. A strange scar ran from her wrist to her elbow, clean, straight, unnatural. I don't remember everything, she said. Just pieces. Pain, machines, voices, lights. And then? I ran. Jack didn't know what to say. What's your name? He asked. She paused for a long time. Lena, she said softly. I think. That's what they used to call me. Jack nodded. I'm Jack. There was a long silence. I'll hide you, he said. But I need to know more. Who you are and why they want you back. Lena looked at him with wide, sad eyes. I'm not just a girl, Jack. Something inside me. It's not human. I don't know what they put in me. Jack's chest tightened. Before he could speak, the lights in his apartment flickered. A deep hum filled the room. Outside, a drone hovered near the window, scanning. Jack pulled Lena down quickly. The drone passed, but his heart was racing. He looked at her. This girl wasn't just in danger. She was the danger. And now, so was he. Asterisk the next morning, the city was still covered in gray clouds. Jack stood by the window of his small apartment, watching the streets below. The drone from last night was gone, but it had left behind a feeling he couldn't shake. Danger behind him. Lena sat on the couch, quiet, wrapped in a blanket. Her eyes scanned the room like a machine. She didn't ask questions. She didn't smile, but she watched everything. Jack turned to her. How are you feeling? She looked up. Better, I think. You were ice cold last night, he said. But your body was stable. How's that possible? Lena didn't answer. Her hands played with the edge of the blanket. Nervous. Jack walked over to his table and picked up a small device, cube-shaped. AI scanner. He connected it to his tablet and turned it on. The screen lit up with green lines and numbers. I need to check something, he said. You're not chipped and your vitals don't make sense. This scanner reads deeper DNA. Cell structure. Lena didn't move. Jack brought the device close to her arm. No, she said sharply. Jack froze. I told you. Scanning me wakes them up. They listen. They track. This scanner is offline, Jack replied. No connection. Just me, you, and the data. Lena hesitated, then slowly nodded. Jack ran the scanner over her arm. The tablet buzzed, then stopped. He looked at the screen and frowned. What? Lena asked. There's something inside you, near your spine, like a microchip. But it's not tech I've seen before. It's growing into your nervous system. Lena looked down, scared. I knew it, she whispered. They didn't just change me. They built something inside me. Later that day, Jack sat at his desk, searching through old files and data, chips from his hacking days. Lena sat across the room, watching him. You said you escaped, Jack said, not looking at her. How? Lena hugged her knees. There was a man, a scientist. He, guilty. I think he helped me. He told me to run. He gave me a key. A key. Jack asked, now interested. Lena nodded and reached into the pocket of her torn jacket. She pulled out a small, flat metal piece. Looked like a memory card but with strange symbols on it. Jack took it carefully. This isn't human tech. No, she said. They found it before they found me. I think it's why they made me. Jack stared at her. You think they used alien tech on you? Lena nodded. And I think they want the key back, badly. That night, Jack couldn't sleep. He lay on the couch while Lena slept on the bed. He had questions too many. Why would someone build a girl like Lena? Was she a weapon? A spy? Or something worse? At 3 a.m., Jack quietly walked over to his desk. He opened a secret panel and took out a tiny robotic spider. It was a medical bot used for surgeries and micro-dash operations. He looked toward the bed. Lena was still asleep. He whispered to the bot, "Scan her implant." Quietly, no data broadcast. The spider crawled across the floor, up the blanket, and onto Lena's back. It was almost invisible. Suddenly, her eyes shot open in 1 second. She reached behind her and grabbed the spider midair. Her body moved too fast, too smooth. Jack froze. She stood up, holding the spider bot in one hand. "You lied," she said. "I had to know," Jack said calmly. "If you're dangerous, if you're even real." Her hand tightened around the bot. It sparked and broke apart. "You think I'm one of them?" she asked. Her voice cracked, almost like she wanted to cry. "No," Jack said. "But I think you're not just a girl, and that means I need to be careful." Lena's eyes flickered. Soft blue light passed through her pupils like a scanner. "I'm not trying to hurt anyone," she said. "But I don't know what's inside me. Maybe I am dangerous." Jack looked at her closely. She wasn't angry. She was scared. Scared of herself. He stepped forward. "Then let's find out together. I have friends off the grid. They know about things like this." Lena didn't move. He added, "But if we wait too long, someone else will find you first. And next time, I might not be able to help." Just then, the building's lights flickered. A low mechanical sound echoed outside. Jack ran to the window. A large black drone was hovering nearby. Not a street patrol. This one was military. "They're here," Jack whispered. Lena stood behind him. Her face was calm, but her eyes burned with fear. "Can you run?" he asked. She nodded. "I've done it before." Jack grabbed his tech bag and a weapon from under the table. He turned to her. "Then we move. Now?" As they opened the door to the back exit, Lena stopped. She looked at him and said, "You should have left me in that alley." Jack looked back and said, "Yeah, well, it's too late for that now." And they disappeared into the night as the drone scanned the empty room behind them. The city never slept but tonight. It felt like it was holding its breath. Jack and Lena moved fast through the lower streets. These weren't places where normal people went. Down here, in the Undercity, the walls were wet, lights were broken, and the air smelled like rust and secrets. Lena didn't speak. She kept her head low, her steps quiet. Jack led her through old service tunnels he used back when he was a black market tech fixer. They passed old vents, broken bots, and graffiti from gangs long gone. Jack finally stopped at a metal door covered in vines and dirt. "We're safe here for now," he said. He tapped a code on the panel. The door slid open with a quiet hiss. Inside was a small, hidden room filled with dusty screens, old tech, tea, and a single dim light. "This used to be my drop zone," Jack said. "Nobody knows it still works." Lena walked in slowly. She looked tired, more than just physically, like her mind carried too much weight. Jack closed the door and activated a signal jammer. "No drone can hear us now," he said. Lena sat on a crate, "But they will keep looking. They always do." Meanwhile, far above them, in a dark glass building across the city, a man in a gray coat stood before a glowing screen. His name was Director Vorn, head of a secret tech military program called Unit 0. "She's active again," he said to his team. "ID. Test subject Thatnine." One of the soldiers replied, "She escaped 2 months ago. We believed she was terminated." "She wasn't," Vorn said coldly, "and the man helping her track him. Jack Carter, former engineer. System reject. We find him, we find her." The screen zoomed in on a grainy image Lena and Jack running through a side alley. Warren's eyes narrowed. "I want them alive. For now." Back in the bunker, Jack placed the strange key Lena's metal device on his desk. "This thing," said, It's not just a key, it's encrypted tech. Some of the symbols match ancient alien patterns found in the Titan archives. You've seen them before? Lena asked. Only in files, Jack said. Years ago, explorers found ruins on Titan. The government buried the info fast. Whatever tech they found wasn't made for humans. Lena's voice was low. A part of it in me. Jack looked at her. Do you know what it does? She shook her head. But when I sleep, I see things, doors opening, a city full of light, a voice calling me by another name. Jack leaned closer. Another name. Lena hesitated. Delta. Suddenly, the warning lights flashed red. Jack spun around. Someone just triggered the motion sensors. Lena stood. They found us. Before Jack could speak, an explosion shook the walls. The door burst open. 3 soldiers in black armor rushed in. They moved like machines. No words, only guns. Jack pulled out a sonic blaster from under the table and fired. Ta! The shot hit one soldier's helmet, short-circuiting it. Sparks flew. Lena didn't wait. She grabbed a broken pipe and ducked low. Moving too fast for the eye, she struck one soldier's leg, twisted, and hit him again, this time in the neck. He collapsed. The last soldier aimed at her. Time slowed. Lena's eyes glowed again. A pulse of blue energy shot from her hand. The soldier's weapon jammed, then exploded. Silence followed. Jack stared at her, breathing hard. What did you do? I didn't mean to, Lena said, shaking. It just happened. You hacked his weapon, with your mind. Lena stepped back. I'm changing, more each day. The two escaped into a maintenance tunnel. It smelled like oil and dust. Jack used his scanner to close the metal gates. Behind them, they ran until they reached an old train platform. Long abandoned. Echoes of the past as they caught their breath. Footsteps echoed from the other side of the tunnel. More soldiers. No, these steps were lighter. From the shadows, a woman stepped forward. Her skin was dark bronze, eyes glowing green. Behind her were 2 others, a tall man with mechanical arms, and a young boy with silver veins across his skin. Lena's eyes widened. You're like me. The woman nodded. We escaped too. We've been watching you, Delta. Jack stood in front of Lena. Who are you? The woman smiled. We're not your enemies, Jack, but the people hunting her. They're planning something much worse. Lena looked at her, confused. Why me? The woman said. Because you're not just a test subject. The boy added, you're the one who can open the gate. Jack asked, what gate? The tall man replied with a low voice. The vault. The one buried beneath this city. The one no human has ever been able to touch. Lena looked down at her hands. What happens if I open it? She asked. The woman stepped closer and said softly, we don't know. But whatever is inside, they want it badly. And if they get it first, Jack asked. The woman's smile faded. Then it's not just Lena's life at risk, it's all of ours. The abandoned train station felt like another world. Dust hung in the air like old memories. The rails were rusted and broken screens blinked with static. But the real weight wasn't in the metal or the silence, it was in the people standing before Jack and Lena. 3 of them, all strange, all different. The woman who had spoken first stood tall and calm. Her eyes glowed a soft green, and her voice had power behind it. I'm Nyla, she said. These are my people, Kai and Ren. Jack looked at them closely. Kai, the man with robotic arms, stood like a soldier. His muscles were half machine, and wires ran up his neck. Ren, the boy, couldn't have been older than 12. But his skin shimmered like liquid metal under the flickering lights. Lena stepped forward, still breathing hard from the escape. You said you've been watching me, she said. Why? Nyla nodded slowly. Because you're like us, changed, not by choice. Not fully human anymore. Jack looked around the platform. You're hiding here? For now, Nyla said. There are more like us, scattered across the cities. Most of them didn't survive. Those who did, stay low. Move often, trust rarely. Kai grunted. The system hunts anything they can't control. Jack stepped beside Lena. What do you want from her? Nyla looked at Lena with a softness in her eyes. We don't want anything from you, Delta. Lena flinched at the name. Stop calling me that, she said. That's the name they gave you, Nyla said gently. But you can choose your own, Jack asked. What is she exactly? Nyla's voice became quiet. She's the only one made with alien code in her cells. We were enhanced stronger, faster. Aposhi was built with something we don't understand. Something ancient. Lena looked down at her hands again. I don't feel special. Ren, the silver-skinned boy, stepped closer. You don't feel it yet, but we can see it. The signal inside you, it's waking up. Kai turned to Jack. You brought her out of hiding. Now the hunters are coming for all of us. You should have left her. Jack frowned. She was alone. Scared? What was I supposed to do? Leave her to die in an alley? Kai didn't answer. Nyla raised her hand, calming him. No one blames you, she said. But now you're part of this. And it's bigger than all of us. Later, they gathered in a side chamber, a dark room with holograms flickering above a round table. Maps of old labs, government towers, and something labeled Vault 0 glowed in the air. NYL-A pointed to a spot under the city. There's something buried here, structure the size of a stadium, sealed since before humanity's first spaceflight. Jack leaned in. What's inside? No one knows, Nyla said. But the files we stole call it a gate. Some think it leads to another world. Others say it's a weapon, maybe both. Lena whispered, and they think I can open it. Nyla nodded, because the key you carry only reacts to your presence. And your DNA signature matches the vault's lock system. Lena sat back, eyes wide. So I'm a what? A walking password. Kai growled. You're more than that. You're the last step in a plan we were never supposed to survive. That night, while others slept, Lena sat alone on the platform edge, feet hanging. Above the empty rails, Jack sat beside her. You okay? He asked. I don't know, she said. I feel like I'm pieces of different people. Human, not human. Machine. Girl key. You're still you, Jack said. Whatever you are now. She looked at him. Why are you helping me, Jack? You could have walked away 100 times. Jack was quiet for a long moment. Because you didn't ask for any of this. And because I was alone too. Until I met you. Lena gave him a small, tired smile. For the first time, it felt real. But peace didn't last long. Just before dawn, soft beep echoed through the tunnels. Ren ran in, eyes glowing silver. They're coming, fast. Full unit. Jack stood. How did they find us? I blocked all signals. Kai walked to the entrance. They don't need signals. They track movement, heat, and now that she's awake, her energy draws them. Lena looked at Nyla. What do we do? Nyla's face was serious. We move. We split up. They can't catch all of us, Kai added. But you have to reach the vault before they force it open with you. As boots and drones thundered down the tunnels, Jack grabbed Lena's hand. You ready? He asked. Lena nodded, not with fear, but with a quiet kind of strength. Yes, 'cause now she wasn't just running for her life anymore. She was running toward something, and for the first time, she wanted to know who she really was. The sky above New Boston City was blood orange at dawn. Smoke rose from the lower districts as the ground trembled with the echo of marching boots and flying drones. But Lena was no longer running blindly. She was beginning to remember. After the ambush in the tunnels, the group had split. Lena and Jack had taken a hidden rail path toward the edge of the old industrial zone. It was a forgotten place, half-flooded factories, overgrown wires, and machines that hadn't moved in decades. Inside an old robotics warehouse, they found Shelter. Lana stood in front of a cracked mirror. Staring at herself, she didn't look like a hero. She looked ... broken. Her face was pale, her clothes dirty, and there were dark rings under her eyes. But it wasn't just her reflection that disturbed her, it was the flicker behind her pupils. Blue light. Always that soft electric blue dot. Jack was working on his portable scanner nearby. He didn't look up when he said, "You've changed." Lena didn't answer. He continued, "Not just the eyes. You move differently. You're faster, stronger, smarter even." "I don't feel smarter," she said quietly. "I feel like I'm about to fall apart." Jack paused. Then he looked up and met her gaze. "You held your own against trained soldiers. You stopped a military drone with your mind. That's not falling apart." Lena turned away from the mirror. "That's what scares me." Later that night, Lena sat outside the warehouse. The stars were barely visible through the smoke and city lights. She closed her eyes and focused not on the noise around her, but on the strange rhythm inside her. There was something pulsing in her mind, like a distant signal. A whisper, suddenly, without touching anything. The air around her shimmered. A nearby broken robot, long dead, began to twitch. Its fingers moved. Its eyes lit up. Lena stood and stepped back. The robot stood too, slowly, like it had been pulled from sleep. She didn't panic. She reached out with her hand. The robot followed her command without wires, without code. She was the command. Jack rushed out with his tool in hand. He stopped dead when he saw the machine standing beside her. "What did you do?" "I called it," Lena said. Jack stepped closer, amazed. "Attacked it without touching it." "I didn't even try," she whispered. Then the robot slowly turned to face her. It spoke in a voice not its own. "You are not ready." Lena froze. "What?" The robot's voice changed again, deeper, layered. "Gatekeeper, partial key signature. Detected. Activation denied. Memory unlocked." The robot shut down, falling back into the dust. Jack ran to her. "Lena, are you okay?" She was shaking. "I heard something, not from the robot, from inside me. A voice." "What did it say?" "That I'm a key, but not ready." The next morning, Jack checked her vitals again. Her readings weren't just abnormal, they were evolving. Her brain activity was triple the human average. Her reflex speed, nearly instant. Her blood had changed color, slightly blue tint at the edges, like it was carrying something else. He looked at her while she slept. She looked peaceful. But she was anything but normal. He whispered to himself, "What are you?" When she woke, Lena sat up quickly. "I remember something," she said. "Jack?" Leaned in. I was inside a white chamber, floating, wires in my spine, lights all around, and a woman's voice speaking to me in a language I didn't understand. But I knew what she meant. "What did she say?" Lena's voice trembled. She said, "You were made to open what others cannot. But you must choose. Lock it away forever, or become what you were built to be." Jack didn't like the sound of that. "What were you built to be?" Lena met his eyes. "I think, a weapon." As they prepared to move again, Jack handed her a small device. "It's a jammer. If your powers spike again, use it. It'll hide your signal for a few minutes." Lena nodded. Jack hesitated, then added, "But if it comes down to you losing control?" I need to know you'll stop yourself. She looked at him, hurt. You don't trust me. I trust you, he said. I don't trust what's waking up inside you. Suddenly, a loud crack shook the building. Outside, a small group of cloaked figures emerged. More experiments. But these weren't like Nyla's group. Their eyes glowed red. One of them stepped forward. A tall figure with metal plates across his chest. Subject Delta, he said. You belong with us. Lena stepped forward. I don't belong to anyone. The man smiled. You don't remember yet, but soon. You will come home. Jack stood beside her. You'll have to go through me first. The figure didn't even blink. We're not here to fight. Then he pointed to the sky. A massive drone, bigger than anything they'd seen before, was slowly descending. It was marked with one symbol, the Unit 0 crest. They're coming, the man said. And when they do, your choice will be made for you. He turned and vanished into the shadows, leaving only a warning behind as the wind picked up and the giant drone blocked out the morning sun. Lena looked at Jack. I'm scared. He nodded. Me too. But they didn't run. Not this time, because whatever she was becoming, she was ready to face it. The sky cracked with thunder. But no storm followed. Above the broken warehouse, the massive Unit 0 drone hovered like a metal god. Its dark wings stretched across the skyline, engines humming in a low, threatening tone. Red lights blinked along its body, scanning. Waiting dot inside the warehouse. Lena sat on the floor, holding her head. Her breathing was sharp. Her fingers twitched. Her eyes flickered from blue to red, then back again. Something was changing. Jack knelt beside her, his hand on her shoulder. Lena, what's happening? Talk to me. I don't know, she whispered, voice shaking. It's like something's waking up. Something ... not me. Jack turned on his jammer device, placing it on the floor. The air shimmered slightly, a pulse moving outward. Okay, we've blocked the drone signal for now, he said. You're safe. But Lena didn't move. Inside her mind, a voice echoed. It wasn't human. Protocol Prime, initiated. Memory barrier breakdown to 73%. Target lock enabled. Lena cried out and clutched her head tighter. I can hear it, she whispered. A program, talking to me. Like it's giving me instructions. Jack's blood ran cold. What kind of instructions? She looked up slowly. Terminate threats. Eliminate resistance. Secure the gate. Jack stared at her, shocked. You were built with a mission. A final protocol. And now it's starting. Outside, boots hit the ground. Unit 0 soldiers in black armor surrounded the warehouse. They moved silently. Weapons raised. Director Vorn watched through the drone's eyes. He spoke into his com. Target Thatanine has entered stage 2. Prepare for forced synchronization. Inside, Jack pulled out his backup tablet. He opened Lena's. Scan data, it was worse than before. Her body temperature was rising. Nerve activity in her spine was off the charts. The implant was glowing through her skin, and then her voice changed. Jack. He looked up, but something was wrong. She was standing too straight. Her face had gone blank. Her tone was cold. Jack Carter, she said. You have been identified. As a variable, Jack stood slowly, backing away. Lena, a chi, tilted her head. Lena is sleeping. Protocol Prime is in control. No, Jack said, voice cracking. You're stronger than this. You can fight it. She raised her hand. A pulse of blue light shot from her palm, striking the wall behind him. It melted the metal like paper. Jack knew then she wasn't bluffing. Outside, Vorn gave the command. Proceed. The drone released a secondary signal designed to sync with Lena's implant and force her into full activation. Inside, Lena screamed. She fell to her knees, clutching her chest. "Make IT stop," she shouted, her voice her own again. Jack rushed to her. He opened his tech bag and pulled out a sharp, pen-sized tool. "I can overload the implant," he said, "but it might kill you." She looked at him, eyes wet. "Then do it. Before I hurt you." Jack hesitated. "I can't. You have to," she begged. "If I lose control, I'll destroy everything." Jack took her hand gently. "Then I'll find another way." The scanner buzzed in his hand. He opened a subroutine, something he hadn't used in years. A virus designed to break AI control. He coded fast. His fingers moved like lightning. Lena gasped. Her skin flickered with energy. The implant on her spine was glowing red now. "Jack, it's too late," she said. "You have to leave me." But Jack didn't stop. "You don't get to give up. Not after everything." Suddenly, the warehouse shook. A giant metal claw ripped through the roof. The drone had activated its ground mode. It was lowering itself, like a beast crawling inside. Lena stood, eyes fully glowing, now blue and red at once. The drone voice spoke. "Final phase, begin." Then everything stopped. Jack pressed a final key. "Run it." A small light blinked on Lena's implant. The virus entered. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Lena screamed louder than ever. Light burst from her chest, and the drone collapsed. Sparks flew. Metal cracked. The soldiers outside froze as their connection was lost. Inside, Lena dropped to the ground. Smoke rose from her back. The implant had shut down. Jack caught her before she hit the floor. Lena. Her eyes opened slowly. Back to normal, she was breathing. "Is it over?" she asked. Jack looked at the broken drone. "I don't know." Hours later, Jack sat beside her as she rested. She was stable, but something had changed. When she woke, her voice was quiet. "I felt it," she said. The protocol, it wasn't just code. It had emotion, hate, purpose, like it was alive. Jack nodded. Then it wasn't just tech. It was something older, alien. She looked at him, and it wanted me to become something else. Jack took her hand, but you didn't. "No," she said, "because you reminded me who I am." Then she stood, her voice steady now. "I'm done running." Jack looked at her. "What are you going to do?" She turned toward the distant skyline. "I'm going to the vault." The desert outside New Boston was silent. No roads led here. No signs pointed the way. Even the stars above seemed to avoid it. In the center of the forgotten land stood something, ancient, half buried in sand and steel. A smooth black dome, larger than a stadium, pulsed with a dim alien glow. Symbols moved across its surface like ripples in water. This was Vault-0, and Lena had come to open it. Jack stood beside her at the edge of the crater. "You don't have to do this alone," he said. Lena looked at the vault, her face calm. "But I was made for this." "Maybe," Jack said. "But you weren't made to die for it." Lena smiled softly. "Then let's hope I don't." They climbed down the rocks toward the entrance. The ground vibrated beneath their feet. As Lena stepped closer, the symbols on the vault glowed brighterest, bonding to her presence. Jack watched in awe. No one else could even touch the vault, but it was opening for her. With a low hum, a door formed in the black wall and slid open. Cold, blue light spilled out. Lena turned to Jack. "If I don't come back, don't," he cut her off. "Because you will." She nodded once and stepped inside. The inside of the vault was unlike anything on Earth. It was alive. Walls shifted like flowing glass. Lights floated in the air. soft sound like whispers underwater followed her. Through the halls, she moved forward, her hand gripping the strange metal key that had led her here. Then a voice echoed around her. Not loud, not angry, just ... old. Subject Delta. Final arrival confirmed. She stopped. I'm not Delta anymore, she said. That name was given to you by the humans. But we gave you something more. Lena stepped into the core chamber. The center floated a pulsing orb of light, suspended above a circular platform. Around it, holograms, dance stars, galaxies, unknown languages. You were our seed, the voice said. A bridge between species. A test. What kind of test? Lena asked, to see if humanity was ready. To see if you would choose power or something more. Suddenly, Lena's implant lit up again. The same blue energy surged in her veins. The vault was offering her full control. Limitless knowledge, strength, immortality, the ability to shape minds and machines. She could end every war, cure every disease. Bend the world to peace. But not as Lena, not as a girl. She would become something else, a guardian, a god, a system. Her voice trembled. And what happens if I say no? Then we close the gate. Forever, humanity will be. Left to its own path, Lena looked at the light. It felt warm. Powerful. Perfect. She closed her eyes. Then, she stepped back. No, she whispered. I won't be your weapon, or your god. I choose me. The light dimmed, the vault trembled. Then everything stopped. The implant in her back melted into dust. The lights faded. The vault began to shut. Down, piece by piece. Lena fell to her knees, gasping. And then, silence. Outside, Jack waited by the rocks, eyes scanning the ridge. Then the ground rumbled. The vault door cracked. He ran forward as the entrance opened, and saw her standing there. She was smiling, tears in her eyes. Lena, he shouted. He ran to her and caught her as she stumbled. You did it? He asked. She nodded. I told them. No. Jack looked confused. Told who? No. She leaned against him. The ones who made me. The ones who built the vault. I had a choice. And I chose us. Weeks later, the government's search for Lena stopped. Unit 0 was shut down quietly. The vault was gone, sunk back into the earth, unreachable. As if it had never been there at all, but whispers spread stories. A girl with glowing eyes who could stop machines with a glance. A man who walked beside her, carrying nothing but trust and a broken scanner. No one knew where they went. Some say they moved to a quiet place by the sea. Others say they went to the stars. But one thing was certain. The girl who was built to destroy the world chose to save it by staying human.